And my friend from Aqua is in the house. That is Jay Kraft. And with all this rain, I would assume, Jay, first of all, Jay, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, John. Appreciate
All right. I would assume with all this rain, you are busy. So I said that to Jay before we went on the air, and he said, we're swamped. Literally.
We are. We got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, because with all the rain, I would think if your foundation is compromised in any way, the rain, it'll expose it, right?
It will. Anybody that's got a small leak, you know, before, if it was a wall crack, 9 times out of 10 right now, it's probably leaking.
And then after that, if you have a leaky foundation in your basement, after that, we're talking about a grocery list of problems. You've got mold, you've got damage to anything that happens to be inside. You've got, you know, bugs, critters, all kinds of things going on there. So tell me a little bit about exactly what you do. For those who aren't familiar with Aqua, if you have a crack in your foundation, you need them. Tell me what you do, Jack.
Well, we're a full-service company, John. We can start with one crack, or we can do the entire foundation. We also do yard drainage, because a lot of times when the water begins to pool up around the home, that's one of the main criminals to the water getting down in that basement. So we got to get that water away from the house with downspouts and French drains or something along that line. But then we can go inside and address one crack, one wall, all 4 walls, whatever you really need done. We want to be as much help as possible. We're not looking just to go in and throw something, you know, at your home and hope for the best. When we go in, we're going to figure out what's going on, and we're going to come up with a solution that's going to render that problem. And
that is the voice of experience, Jay. You've been doing waterproofing for how long?
30 years now.
Whew. 30 years.
I know.
So you started when you were 10? Good for you.
I did.
And Jay and I laughed because he came into my home. Okay, I had a crack in my basement. It was really bothering me. I have my home gym down the basement.
Yes,
I came in and asked Jay to take a look. And he did an excellent job, because I was afraid. I said, this is kind of weird. I said, I've got this, you know, this crack here and all this water. And he says, I got it. This is what I do. And you did it very efficiently. You did it very cleanly. Thank you. And for those who do have that problem, okay, first of all, if you don't actually see a visual sign of a crack, what are some signs that you may have an issue with your foundation?
That's a great question. There's a variety of things that you can look for. The first thing that you will come across is probably a musty odor or just some damp sensations. If you're down in your basement and, you know, after a real heavy rain, it starts to smell and like dampness, you've got water that's beginning to penetrate the concrete of your foundation. If you can smell that upstairs, again, you know, it's getting a little bit worse. Bugs will congregate in an area where there's water, because just like you and I, they've got to have something to drink, and they'll go right for the water. And if you start seeing small spots on the wall, you've got the beginning signs of mold.
Gotcha. Okay. And now, how does a crawl space work into all this rain? What happens with a crawl space?
Crawl spaces can be even a lot worse, because unlike a basement, you don't go into the crawl space very often.
That's right. Yeah.
And so many times we go out to someone's home and they'll say, I haven't been in my crawl space in 10 years.
And that's what we're looking at here, right? Yeah.
That's exactly what we're looking at. And this is a situation where so much moisture was down in the crawl space that the insulation began to absorb that moisture, and it just started falling down from the joists of the crawl space. Well, we'll go in and clean all that out, and a lot of times there'll be mold. That's what you're seeing right now, is mold on the joists.
Can't be good for you.
No, it's not good for you, because you're breathing that air. Whatever is in your crawl space, the air, the compromised air, is getting up into your home, and you're breathing that, and that's just one of the things that we'll go in and get all that cleaned up for you. This is a before picture you're looking at right now of a crawl space that we were in, and then we went in, cleaned the whole thing. We encapsulated it, which is a real thick plastic that we put on the floor. It goes up the walls, and it just changes the entire environment of the home. And the whole idea here is to not only get rid of the mold and get rid of all the water and get all that nastiness out of there, but then create a situation where the air that you're breathing in your home is clean and fresh.
Yeah, that's a big part of what you do, is air quality.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about that, Jay, because if I think Aqua, of course, I had a crack in my foundation of my basement, so I don't know, air quality, though, is important to you, and that's why you're a comprehensive company. You do a lot of things.
We do, and when you're talking about air quality, indoor air can be 5 to 10 times more polluted than outdoor air. Everything's wrapped tight. You know, we got triple pane windows and all that stuff that goes in, which is all phenomenal stuff. But if you don't take care of the air inside your home, you're left to breathe it.
That's right.
And so we've got a device called the Easy Breathe, and we can put that either in the crawl space or the basement, and it reverses the air in your home. Instead of air rising with the heat, we'll actually reverse that, draw that down, and it creates a very dry, usable, clean air in the home. You know how the sun shines through the window and you see all those little flakes in the in the air? The Easy Breathe will take 70 to 80% of those things out of the air, because they can be skin, they can be hair, they can be pet dander, they can be mold, they can be dust mite, they can be dust mite excrement.
You're making me want to hold my breath, Jay. Thanks a lot.
I'm here for you.
Appreciate that.
But we can fix that.
Well, I'm glad that you can fix that. Now let's talk about a special here that you have. Okay, if you mentioned Wave 3 Listen Show, $500 off, is that on a foundation problem? What exactly does that apply to?
What we will do is, if someone calls the office and mentions Listens Live, then we will give them 10% of any job up to $500.
Oh, okay. I love that. There's the information on the screen. So 10% up to $500. I like that. And if you would, Jay, what other services do you offer? We talk a lot about, when we're talking about air, you also should know probably about the radon that may be in your home, right?
We do radon testing, radon mitigation. We are the only mitigator in the area that will lower your radon down to 2.7 picocuries per liter. Everybody's real familiar with 3.9. But we realized a long time ago that we're a little bit better, and we offer now 2.7 on a warranty. We also do crawl space complete reconditioning. We do egress windows. If you would like to add square footage onto your home, we can come in and add a window right onto the basement that will allow that area to be completely usable.
And what are we seeing here, Jay?
That is an egress window.
There you go.
That's where we
That's pretty cool.
Cut a hole in the side of somebody's basement, put a window in it, and that plastic wrap that you're seeing right there will backfill around that. There's a drain in the bottom of that, so any water that gets down in there is drained away from the foundation. That's what you're looking at right there. And then we put a cap on the top of that, and as long as that room is 7 by 7 feet square or larger, that is now considered saleable space with your foundation. So you can add an extra bedroom, you can add a living room, you can add whatever you want into your basement, and that is the value to the property.
Jay, I love what you do. Thank you for what you did for my home. He can do it for yours as well. As he said, 10% off, up to $500 if you call Aqua today with any of their services. Give them a call. Free estimates, Jay?
Free estimates.
Yep, they'll come on out and take a look, see free estimates. And again, if you've been procrastinating, if you've been doing that, don't do that. Call Aqua today. Save yourself some dollars as well.